Hi, hola. I hope everyone is well. So, for my presentation, we are going to be discussing LGBTQ population within the workplace. So, what does LGBTQ stand for? Well, it is an acronym that represents a diverse community of individuals who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. Each term reflects different aspects of sexual orientation and gender identity, highlighting which highlights the rich tapestry of human experiences and identities within this community. So within this presentation, we are going to be discussing four topics. The first topic that we'll be discussing is career preparation and encouragement, societal assumptions and stereotypes, workplace dynamics, and finally, effective counseling strategies. So, like I said, the first topic that we'll be discussing is career preparation. So, college students who identify as either lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer encounter a variety of different challenges as they navigate their career path. These students express the concerns about exploring or selecting a major, obtaining an internship, or creating a resume, or entering the job market, or all the above necessarily. These challenges can include a lack of support from their peers or mentors who may not understand their experiences, potential discrimination in the job market, and the need to find inclusive workplaces that align with their identities. Additionally, these students may face pressure to conceal their sexual orientation or gender identity, which can impede their ability to seek out opportunities that resonate with them. And you may ask, why do these kids not take advantage of the opportunities? Well, unfortunately, it's because of the historical context of the workplace discrimination that is faced in the LGBTQ community, and it's still present to this day. Next, for representation. It's important to mention that members of the community are encouraged to choose any career that they would want to pursue, just like any normally human being. From what most research showed, most members of the community chose to pursue a career in arts and humanities, social sciences, business, and different medical professions. It is important to note that there is cultural programs within education, and especially within higher ed. There is LGBTQIA, specific career resources and guides, career counselors that are within the community, and there is specific networking and career events for the community. Unfortunately, there is not of a career encouragement. Um, there's just a lot of career avoidance. Um, Despite progress, significant career avoidance remains significant within the community. And you may be asking yourself, why does it still exist in 2024? And the reality of that is that issues related to workplace discrimination and insufficient inclusivity continue to exist, leading many members of the community to either shy away from specific career options or choose not to openly share their identity at work out of fear of adverse repercussions. And with career avoidance, there is also barriers, such as workplace discrimination, lack of mentorship and sponsorship, biases in hiring and promoting, fear of being left out, and the lack of workplace policies and benefits. Next, we're going to be talking about societal assumptions and stereotypes within the workplace. First, for gender bias and stereotypes, gay men are often perceived as more feminine, while lesbian women are seen as more masculine, leading to an implicit aversion effect. This causes people to treat gay men like heterosexual women and lesbian women like heterosexual men. Such gender stereotypes influence how companies assess LGBTQ individuals, creating biases when skills and qualifications are essentially equal. And this unconscious bias can hinder job opportunities and career advancement. affecting hiring decisions and workplace interactions. Next, for occupational stereotypes. These stereotypes can contribute to discrimination at work because some jobs are either seen as masculine or feminine. For example, jobs like a sales manager are often viewed as masculine, while nursing is seen as feminine. These stereotypes about jobs connect with the idea about sexual orientation, leading to what researchers call job misfit perceptions. This means candidates may face discrimination based on whenever they fit the gender expectations associated with certain roles. Next, for employment impact. This issue arises in various situations. For example, when gay men apply for jobs in typically male fields, when lesbian women pursue jobs that are usually female, when heterosexual men seek roles in female-dominated careers, or when heterosexual men aim for positions linked to masculinity. In these cases, these perceived mismatches can lower their chances of being hired, even though all of the candidates have the same qualifications. For rater biases, male raters exhibited significantly greater biases toward gay men, especially among those who have not received any diversity training. These biases vary significantly according to a number of factors: the gender of the individual making the hiring choice, their experience within diversity training, and their degree of social dominance orientation. And finally, workplace consequence. Stereotypes in the community in the excuse me, stereotypes in the workplace significantly affect various aspects of professional life. They influence hiring decisions, assessment of job stability, and overall employment opportunities, creating systemic barriers that hinder career advancement and inclusivity for LGBTQ plus individuals. These biases are challenging to address as they often operate unconsciously, and they are framed as the concerns about the job fit perception. And these and the job fit perception even remains intact even when the individual is fully qualified. Next, workplace dynamics. For the interpersonal relationship part, LGBTQ employees often face challenges in their work relationships because they experience microaggressions, exclusion, and harassment. These negative experiences can make it hard for them to connect generally with their coworkers. For example, LGBTQ individuals may feel the need to hide parts of their identity to avoid the stigma. This can prevent them from fully engaging in team building and collaborative activities. For the communication patterns, the study that I used to create this slide highlighted the difficulties that LGBTQ employees face in workplaces that follow traditional heterosexual norms. Unconscious biases and the absence of inclusive language often cause anxiety about being judged or make them hesitant to share personal stories. Next, we're going to be talking about power structures and hierarchies. Power dynamics in the workplace greatly affect LGBTQ employees. Discrimination can occur during hiring, and biases can impact promotions. The studies show that stereotypes about who should be a leader often push LGBTQ individuals away from decision-making roles or even being a part or even being considered a promotion um or a higher role. This creates inequality and limits opportunities for members of the community to advance in their careers or participate in organizational leaderships. Fourth, for cultural and societal influences, workplaces that follow traditional gender norms often leave out LGBTQ employees. They tend to focus on gender equality or cultural diversity, ignoring issues related to sexual orientation and gender identity. The study pointed out how this limited view can make LGBTQ workers feel even more isolated than before. And finally, for inclusivity and diversity. The study explained the importance of inclusive policies and diversity training in creating fair workplaces for LGBTQ employees. Organizations that implement these practices see fewer and fewer cases of biases and overall better employee integration. For instance, diversity training helps raise awareness among coworkers and managers, creating an environment where these members of the community feel valued and respected. Next, for the unique needs of the community, it is important to note that this community needs a safe work environment. Um, as members of the community often need both physical and emotional safety at work. Many individuals unfortunately face harassment, microaggressions, and unwelcoming environments. Therefore, it is important to have strong anti-discrimination policies and safe reporting systems. Second, inclusive policies and practices. There is a need for diversity training specifically for LGBTQ individuals to address unconscious biases and encourage support for one another. To support this community effectively, organizations should create inclusive policies such as promoting benefits for same-sex partners and recognizing non-binary identities. Third, support for identity management. LGBTQ employees often feel pressure to hide their identities at work to avoid stigma. This leads to more stress and can harm their mental health and job satisfaction. Workplaces that promote open expression and provide resources, such as employee research groups, can help support these employees. Fourth, representation in leadership and decision making. Excuse me. Um, Representation is important, and it points out that LGBTQ individuals often lack access to often lack access to often lack access to leadership roles. To help change this, we can improve visibility and create mentorship programs specifically for LGBTQ employees. And fourth, LGBTQ people often have difficulty getting more leadership roles. To improve the situation, we need to make them more visible and create mentorship programs specifically for LGBTQ employees. Finally, for counseling the LGBTQ members in the workforce. For this population, it is important that counseling resources are provided. These resources should address their unique needs and challenges, providing support and guidance that facilitate personal growth and emotional well-being. So, we would use culturally responsive techniques, such as using LGBTQ affirming language and terminology, acknowledge diverse expressions of gender and sexuality within different cultures, and recognize unique cultural stressors and family dynamics. Provide resources that help with this population. Provide resources that help with this population for self-growth and self-advocacy. So, we would connect clients with LGBTQ professional networking groups, provide strategies for navigating microaggressions, and guide clients in setting healthy workplace boundaries. Excuse me. And how can we ensure success in the workforce? So, having counselors within this community is extremely important. Why? Because members of the community tend to feel safer and more comfortable when they're around people that represent them and have the same ideology as them. Second, to have mandatory training services that provide insight on how to make the workplace environment more inclusive and safe. How would we do that? Well, having regular diversity and inclusion workshops, have crisis intervention training for situations that may arise in the LGBTQ community, and have management specific training on supporting LGBTQ employees. So lastly, to provide different resources, the companies or the guidance counselor, not the counselor will provide crisis hotlines and support systems, legal advocacy organizations, and employee resource group. Now, if I was a counselor, how would I support the population? Well, I would create a safe and affirming environment. I know for me personally, I feel more safe and more comfortable when the facilitator has already made the environment that it's safe, it's comfortable, and whatever said remains locked in the space. Build professional development support. Um, I would have connections with different individuals or different clientele that have um, higher positions in um, different workforce environments. Um, this will allow my clientele to build a network off of me, which can help them excel in their overall career. And fourth, provide advocacy. Um, and that is my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. And happy holidays and have a fantastic night.